What's going on, comic book fans? It's Tuesday, and Tuesday means it's time for Speculation Recommendations, my video series where I look into the future at New Comic Book Day and Final Order Cutoff for next week to give you guys some ideas on some books that you can pre-order and pick up on New Comic Book Day to help make this hobby fund itself. Weekly reminder, guys, to please do your own research and take everything I say in this video with a grain of salt. You guys want to make sure you guys are making the best decisions for yourself, and to do that, you need to do your research. Check other YouTubers you guys trust, other websites you guys trust, and other comic book apps that you guys trust, so that way you guys are making the best decision possible and investing your money wisely. Last thing, before we get into this week's speculation recommendations, guys, are you guys subscribed to the channel? No? Then what are you doing? Get yourself subscribed. Hit that bell for notifications because you guys want to be notified when we upload new content. We upload new content every Tuesday and Thursday, and we go live every single Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern on Comics and Beer. It's a 1-hour live stream where Stephanie and I talk about all the latest comic book news. We drink some craft beers. We do some trivia. And guys, the last Friday of every single month is our big end of the month giveaway, and you want to be there for that because it's going to be an awesome one. We are giving away slabs every single month. All right, guys, that is it. Smash that like button, and let's jump in to this week's speculation recommendations. First up, we are talking about Final Order Cutoff, and Final Order Cutoff for your DC books is April 25th, 2021, and for your Marvel and your indie books is April 26th, 2021. Guys, if you guys are interested in any of the books that I'm about to talk about, make sure you guys reach out to your LCS and order these books before these dates. Unlike last week, this week we only have DC books to talk about. I didn't see anything Marvel or indie that really stuck out to me that had strong enough spec behind it to actually suggest those books to you guys. Let's dive right into these DC books. I have 3 to talk about today, and the first one up is Legends of the Dark Knight #1, and the solicitation for this book says, a new player has arrived on the scene and is selling chemicals to the worst villains in town. So we're gonna have an introduction of a new villain, and guys, Batman spec is strong. It's strong enough to, I think, buy a couple extra copies of this. I'm going to give you guys a few examples. Nightwing #78. Now, I slept on this a little bit. I only picked up 1 extra copy. And guys, that book is now going for $25+ on the secondhand market. And all it was introducing a dog into Nightwing's life. And it did have a new creative team that is absolutely incredible. But that's all it was. It was a new dog. And also, Joker #2. We have Vengeance. The first appearance of Bane's daughter. And I think there was also a first appearance of a new family, but that was it. Not huge news, but guys, that book is Joker #2 is going for double or triple cover price on the secondhand market. So I'm gonna get behind this. I'm gonna pick up 5 extra copies of myself, and I suggest you pick up an extra copy or 2 and see how the market plays out. Next up is Nightwing #80. This is the first full appearance of Heartless, who is a villain who removes the heart from vulnerable victims. Guys, just like I said before when I was talking about Legends of the Dark Knight, Nightwing #78, which really didn't have any huge first appearance, is selling for $25+ on the secondhand market. I think this is going to continue to climb because the creative team is absolutely excellent. Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo is an incredible creative team, and I think this book is going to be going up and up and up. And another reason is that Nightwing is a beloved character within all DC fans, and this is finally a good creative team that is just going to excel this book and make it so much better. So definitely do not sleep on this. Pick up at least 1 extra copy of Nightwing #80. Alright guys, in the last book on my Final Order Cutoff list is Wonder Girl #1. This is the first ongoing series for Yara Flor, a popular character spinning out of future state. I'm interested to see where this actually plays out, because her first cameo appearance in Dark Knight's Death Metal #7 is going for double cover price, which is a pretty good investment. I was actually able to find a couple extra copies at my local LCS this weekend. So I don't think this is going to be a huge book, but I do think the spec is good enough to pick up an extra copy or 2 and sit on it and really see how the market plays out. It is time, guys, to talk about that new Comic Book Day spec for April 28th, 2021. And I am super excited about next week's new Comic Book Day because there are some big boy comics that are coming out that if you can get your hands on these books, you guys are going to be able to flip them for a premium. The first book up on my list is Something is Killing the Children #1, the 8th print. You heard me right, the 8th print. This is a surprise incentive variant. For every 2 copies of Berserker #2 ordered, the comic book shop is eligible to receive 1 copy of Something is Killing the Children #1, the 8th print, which is a pretty cool incentive by Boom Studios. If you guys can get your hands on this for cover price. You guys are going to be able to flip it quickly for triple, quadruple, because you can buy it right now online for $30+, or I should say pre-order it. But I got my fingers crossed that Chuck's going to give this to me for close to cover price. But we will see next Wednesday. But guys, definitely pick up at least 1 or 2 copies of Something is Killing the Children. Number 1, the 8th print, because I think that's going to be a great investment next week. All right, guys, the next book up is Nottingham, number 1, the 2nd print. Guys, the 1st print is going for $75 right now on the secondhand market, and I'm seeing pre-sales on eBay for the 2nd print going for $200+, which is absolutely bananas. So if you pre-order this at your local LCS and you get it for cover price, wow, you are going to be able to make such a good profit on this book. I was not lucky enough to get my order in on time because I slept on this book a little bit. So shame on me, but guys, hopefully you guys were able to get this in because, man, that is a great investment that you guys just made. Next up, we have another reprint. We are talking about Berserker number 1, the 3rd print, guys. The 2nd print is selling right now for $75 to $100, and guys, there were 100,000 copies ordered for the 2nd print. Guess what? Boom Studios cut down the 3rd print to 10,000 copies, and this is already pre-selling on eBay for $500 to $750 on eBay, which is bananas. So if you're able to get your hands on this gorgeous cover and flip that, wow, you are going to make one hell of a profit, and that was one good investment that you just made. Next up on this list is Black Cotton number 1, the 2nd print. The 1st print is selling between $10 and $15, and most likely the 2nd print is going to have a slightly smaller run. So I think this would be a good investment to pick up a couple extra copies of this book and see how that secondary market does play out, because maybe you can make even more than double or triple cover price on this book. Let's move away from the reprints and let's actually talk about some new comic books that are coming out on New Comic Book Day, April 20th, 2021. The first book that we're going to talk about is Berserker number 2. Now, there was bonanza around issue number 1, 650,000+ copies ordered by retailers. Now, this is going to have a much smaller print run, so I think this is a better investment than number 1, unless you're talking about that 1 in 1,000 of issue number 1. So I would suggest picking up a couple extra copies, or maybe hunt down some of those incentive covers, or in ratio covers, I should say, and those were probably the best investment for Berserker number 2. But this is going to continue to be a hot book. We talked about the 3rd print, and there's a 4th print coming, and these books are going for such big money. I think if you sleep on Berserker, you're going to kick yourself in the butt. So pick up a couple extra coffees. Coffees? I actually probably need some more coffee right now. Pick up a couple extra copies, and I think that is going to be a solid investment. The next book up on this list is a Batman book, and we're talking about Detective Comics number 1035, guys. This is the first appearance of Mr. Worth, the vengeful father of a girl killed in Gotham's latest crime wave. I slept on 1034. That had the first appearance. I forgot what it is. I'll put it down here, and that is going for $10 to $15 on the secondary market. It was a small first appearance, so you know what? I'm not going to sleep on this. I'm going to pick up a couple extra copies, so that way I do not kick myself in the butt like I kicked myself on the Joker number 2, Nightwing number 78 in Detective Comics number 1034. Not 35, because this is 1035, 1034. So guys, don't sleep on this. Pick up a couple extra copies and see how the market plays out, but I guarantee you in a few weeks you'll be able to flip this for double or triple cover price. And the last book up on this list is a Batman book. That's right, we're wrapping this whole video up with more Batman spec. Let's talk about Robin number 1. This says 3 first appearances. We have the first appearance of Flatline, the first appearance of Respawn, and the first appearance of Mother Soul. So those are 3 good reasons to be picking this book up. But guys, we talked about Nightwing already. We talked about the Joker number 2. We talked about Detective Comics 1034. We talked about 1035. You should not sleep on this book. It's Batman specs. Batman spec is strong. Be picking this book up. There's 3 different covers, I believe. I'm sure there's more than that out there in the wild, but definitely be picking up some cover A. And if you can get your hands on that 1 in 25, that's probably not a bad investment as well. But I'll be picking up at least 5 copies of cover A and investing in those, because watching the market play out for Batman spec is just showing me how strong that is. So definitely be picking this book up. I cannot suggest it enough. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this video. So much good information, guys. Do not sleep on Nottingham number 1, 2nd print. Berserker number 1, 3rd print. Something is Killing the Children number 1, the 8th print. I think those are going to be the bangers of next week's New Comic Book Day. If you can get those, wow, you're going to be able to flip those for great money. So, big week, awesome video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around this long. If you guys haven't already smashed that like button, smash that like button, get yourself subscribed, and hit that bell. You definitely want to be notified each week when I upload my speculation recommendations video. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.